the best angle and lighting? No. Am I gonna change it? Also no. I'm sitting on the ground today, which means there will probably be more Murphy cat interference, but that's fine. Can I at least see my notes, please, sir? I just need them for like a hot second. So today I'm going to be doing my Q3, or like summer, I guess, TBR book haul. So the books that I purchased in ooh, ow, 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 ow. Your nails hurt. I'm not a cat. They cause pain to me. The books I bought in June, July, and August. The books I bought, Murphy, no. The books I bought in July, August, and September. And I definitely started cutting back. Not that I can't buy more books, but I feel I'm starting to get overwhelmed by how many I own. So I'm kind of doing something different now. By the numbers, if you were curious, I mostly just do this for myself. I bought 26 books, of which 10 came in book boxes, 9 were new releases for 2020, and 7 were just like other books, so like old releases, some nonfiction, that kind of stuff. And of those 26, I have read either since buying them or previously read 8 of them, so that means that there are 18 I have not read. I wish that was closer. What are you gonna do? So the first book box I got, book I got, I think I actually unboxed this in a reading vlog, and that is Girl, Serpent, Thorn by Melissa Bashardoust. And I think this is inspired by Persian like folklore. I don't know, but I never even looked inside this cover. I believe, I can't remember if this was FairyLoot or OwlCrate. I can never remember. I do really like this cover, and I do think that this story sounds interesting, and it has sprayed edges, and it's a standalone fantasy, which is what I live for. I do plan on reading this hopefully before the end of the year. I'm starting to try and read. Can we not rip up the carpet, please? Try to read at least one book box book every month. Then I got Where Dreams Descend by Janella Angelis, and this I don't think is a standalone, and this one came without a dust jacket. It's just like this cover. I personally don't love this style of book. Even though I take my dust jackets off when I go to read books, I am not a big fan of it. Like, I don't mind if there's stuff like this, but I prefer a dust jacket, but whatever. I know a ton of people really like this. And I believe this is like a circus-y story. I think part of the reason I don't like it is because, especially now that I have a cat, I feel like his litter gets everywhere, and so especially a black book is just rife for like litter grossness. I got Forest of Souls by Lori M. Lee, and I actually feel like this is like one of the ones, if I remember correctly, that I liked the original cover better. Yeah, this one has, whoop. Wow, she kind of looks like one of my old bosses. That's interesting. So this has artwork on the inside as well, and again, I believe this is part of a series, not a standalone. I'm definitely more into the standalones, and of course you got a creepy spider on it because, you know, gotta have creepy spiders. This one isn't high on my must-read list, but I will probably give it a shot. And then I believe in the same box I got this, which is a paperback finished copy of the Gilded Ones, which was supposed to come out earlier this year, and then it got pushed back to 2021. The edges are sprayed. I actually have an e-arc for this, and I put it off because it was delayed and I wanted to read it closer to its actual release. And I'm really excited to have a physical copy because I would much prefer to read a physical book than an ebook. Ooh, look at all that shiny. And if I like it, like even a little, I will probably buy this in hardcover because like this is gorgeous enough on a paperback. Like, imagine what it's going to be like in a hardcover. And then I got Goddess in the Machine by Laura Beth Johnson. I actually don't really know like anything about this. Oh yeah, it's more of like a sci-fi, which isn't a lot of what you see in OwlCrate. I think this was OwlCrate. No, it was probably FairyLoot because it has sprayed edges, and FairyLoot is usually the one that does sprayed edges. I don't even like gold, but I do appreciate it is a nice aesthetic. Now that we're being surprised by inside covers, is there anything here? No, there's not. I do think this is part of a series, and I have heard other people say this, and I totally agree. This girl looks exactly like Chrissy Teigen. It's kind of freaky. But I will probably give this a try. Probably not right away because I have enough series that I need to like finish before I start new ones. But I do feel like I need to read more sci-fi. I'm still not 100% sure if it's for me, so I kind of want to expose myself to more of it. And then I got Shielded, which again is a series, I believe. This one also has sprayed edges. These ones are black. I don't know anything about this at all. Sorry. I looked it up, and I think this was another one that I was like kind of iffy on being interested in. But I'll probably give it a shot. What are you doing? Why do you keep trying to steal things? And then I had another duplicate situation where I got 2 of the same book in OwlCrate and FairyLoot, and that was Star Daughter by Shweta Thakrar. And can I just say, my battery's dying. Hold on. Okay, so can I just say that both of these are just gorgeous. Like, I'm so mad that they're both beautiful because, okay, so they must have different papers because this one is, the purple one is definitely thicker. That's kind of interesting. I didn't realize that before because this is the first time I've held them like next to each other. No, stop it. No, don't bite me just because I told you no. The thing's my mom's not here because she would be like, well, that's what kids do, Holly. That's what you did when you were a baby and you'd follow me into the bathroom all the time. My mom doesn't talk like that. But I'm like, how am I supposed to pick? I mean, hopefully I really like it because then I feel like I can justify having it on my shelf in 2 copies. But like, I feel like I would lean towards the purple, but they're both gorgeous. And this is a standalone. This I'm super excited. Hopefully will get read in the next couple of months. Let me just look and see if there's anything on the dust jacket. Oh my god. Look at that. Look at that. Gorgeous. Freaking gorgeous. Oh my gosh. I'm deceased. Deceased. I'm so excited. And I love how, let me see if this other signature is better. I think it is. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Yeah. I like how she signs her name. Like, I'm assuming, because it's basically in like 2 different languages, and I love that she does that. I think that's really awesome. Yes, this I'm super excited for, and I just wish there wasn't so many books I had to read for like projects that I have going on, because otherwise I would be reading this ASAP. And also, sorry for like the noise, he just keeps trying to like attack this thing over here, and we know who runs this house, and it's not me, that's for sure. And then I got Fable by Adrienne Young. This is like a little book. It's kind of short, but it's also like short this way, I feel like, compared to others. This I actually like just got like yesterday in my FairyLoot, and it has sprayed edges. I actually think I like the original cover better, which almost never happens. See if there's anything on the art. Nope. And I believe this is a fairy tale or a mermaid kind of a story, and this is part of a series as well. This one I know like nothing about. And then the last book actually came wrapped in plastic, and I never took the plastic off, And then the last book box book was my September OwlCrate, and that was Horrid by Katrina Leno. And I knew this was coming because I've been spoiling myself lately on my book boxes. I think I'm gonna have to wait and see what people say about this because I'm just afraid it's gonna be creepy, and I'm just like I'm a huge baby. So I don't know, like, I don't know. But it does have this artwork on the outside. Initially I was just gonna like sell it or donate it or something because I was like, oh, I'm not gonna read it, whatever. But I was like, well, maybe like it'll be fine. So I think I am gonna give it a try, but like I said, I'll see what reviews say and see if maybe it's like, I don't know, it's so hard because like creepiness is like so hard to gauge, I guess, like what's gonna set you off. And like I can tell you for sure, one of the things that really creeps me out is like any mention of ghosts or like the possibility of ghosts. I'm currently reading The House of Salt and Sorrows by Erin A. Craig, and there are moments in there I get like really creeped out. Like The Secret Garden is one of my favorite books, and like, spoiler alert, like I won't like go into super detail, but there's a point where Mary thinks that there's a ghost and she's walking around the manor, and I, as a 31-year-old adult, still get freaked out during those scenes. So like that's how, like, I know what happens, I know what's really going on because, spoiler alert, it's not a ghost. And it still creeps me out. And I've never read anything by Katrina Leno, and I know people really like her. I think she has stuff that's not like creepy, but so maybe I should start somewhere else. I don't know, we'll see. And so next, let's do the 2020 new releases in like no particular order. So we have A Heart So Fierce and Broken by Bridget Kemmerer, another book that, if only I didn't have so many books that I had to read for projects. Not that I'm not enjoying most of them, I am, but this is another one that's like so high on my list that I need to read like ASAP. So excited for this. Can you go over here? Sure. And then The Midnight Lie by Marie Rutkowski, which I don't even know how I hadn't heard about this book, and then I think I saw it randomly in somebody's video and I was like, well, I must buy it. So it takes place in the same world as the Winter's Curse trilogy, is my understanding, which I actually do really like that trilogy, which was quite a surprise. And I believe that there's supposed to be like a female-female romance in here, so that also made me happy because I have still yet, not that I've read a ton, but I have still yet to find a female-female romance that worked for me. And I was like, okay, well, I like Marie Rutkowski's writing, like I've enjoyed her other books, so it just puts her at like a better chance. Also, if you have any recommendations for FF romances in young adult, fantasy, adult, whatever, I don't care, let me know. I think part of it is I may just have to go adult, but it's so hard to find them in adult. They're just like not written. So, but maybe that'll give me the like emotional connection I need, because that's usually where like I just don't connect to the characters enough. And so I feel like maybe in an adult romance it would work better. I don't know. Whatever. That's not what this video is about. And I got Rage and Ruin by Jennifer L. Armentrout, which is the second book in the Harbinger series. I did read this. I did like it a little bit less than Storm and Fury, but I still really enjoyed it. And I'm excited to like stay current with this. I'm trying to stay current with her books and get caught up on like stuff that I never read. Because like I secretly hold out hope that her ARC team will open up in January, because that's usually when it opens, and like maybe I'll get accepted. But I know that they like to make sure that people are as up to date as possible. Speaking of Jennifer L. Armentrout, I also got this, which is the Summer King bundle. So this is connected to the Wicked series. It's a bind up of 3 novellas. The Prince, the King, and the Queen. The Queen came out this year, and so that's why they released this as well. And I decided to just buy the bind up instead of buying them all individually. And I knew, because I'm not stupid, at least for this, people said the wait between the King and the Queen was really rough. So I just decided to wait. And I'm very happy I did. But if you've read her Wicked trilogy, which I highly recommend, I think it's one of her best trilogies, like one of her best series, this is a great like spin-off to it. And of course you get more Tink, so always fun. And then actually I have another Jennifer L. Armentrout book. And this is her newest release, and that's A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, which is the sequel to From Blood and Ash, which came out earlier this year. They're high fantasy, super romance heavy. And I have read this already. It's a chunker. And I think this is going to be a 4-book series. We don't have a release date for the next one yet, but it was a big boy. It was a big boy to read. And then we have, I believe this is the last book in the Briar U series by Elle Kennedy, and that is The Dare, and I have not read this yet. I should be reading it in the next month or 2. And this came out in like May or June, so it's like new adult contemporary romance. And I did pick up Charming Like Us by Krista and Becca Ritchie, and this is signed. And for this I did do so I did like the regular signing, and then I'm going to start doing this. I did get the character notes. You can request character notes from Krista and Becca Ritchie. I think they ask you to stick to just 2, with the exception of Some Kind of Perfect, which is a huge like epilogue novella, so that one they allow you just because it takes a lot of time and effort, because they try to like make sure the writing is different and that it's like in the tone of voice of the characters. I'm sorry I've not read this yet. I'm kind of behind on these books, but I do plan on getting caught up before the end of the year. Oh, and I'm really excited because the series is kind of complicated, so I'm not gonna like explain how it works. But this one, the 2 guys that it follows, neither of them are in the famous families. So if you read Krista and Becca Ritchie, then you probably know what that means. And I'm kind of excited to read a book not about the famous families. Like, I know they're going to be there, obviously, but I'm excited to get a different perspective on all of those characters when neither person in the relationship is a famous family member. A really new release is Well Played by Jen DeLuca, which is the like companion spin-off to Well Met, which I loved last year, and I'm so hopeful that I will love this one too. I'm like so scared to read it and so excited. Like, what if it's a disappointment? But I'm so excited to have this, and this is another one I hope to be reading really soon. I did get Daring and the Duke by Sarah McLean, and this is signed. I bought this from Word Bookstore in Brooklyn. It was like a special pre-order thing. And I know I have not read this yet. I know a lot of people have issues with this one. But I'm planning on liking it because, one, I've enjoyed this whole series. A lot of people haven't. But also this story reminds me a lot of, I think it's The Day of the Duchess, and where the hero is like almost irredeemable. And I will say, going into The Day of the Duchess, I was like, ooh, but I came out of that book loving it and believing the romance 100%. So I have complete faith in Sarah McLean's ability to make me buy this story. So no issues there. And then the final new release I got, this is like the first Harlequin book I've ever bought in my life. If there's some Harlequins I should check out, let me know. It's not like I've avoided them for any particular reason. I think I'm just overwhelmed by the sheer number of books. But this is More Than Neighbors by Shannon Stacy, and I just really like Shannon Stacy's writing and her other books that I've read, and she had posted on like Twitter, I think, about it being at Walmart and her like seeing it there. So I happened to go to my Walmart that day and I saw it and I was like, I'm gonna buy it. And lastly, we have the like backlist books, I guess. So first I'll do 2 nonfiction books. So one, this is just like a really tiny thing. I bought it more as like a supportive thing than anything else. And that, this may have come out this year actually, I don't know. But it's The Dancer's Dad, 21 Days of Motivation by Dr. Rick Morgan. So he is the father of Catherine Morgan. She has a YouTube channel. If I remember, I'll link it below. She's a ballerina. And she danced for NYCB and then ended up having some health issues. And it took a while to figure out that the problem was her thyroid. She ended up leaving the world of dance, turning to YouTube and just like a lot of stuff. She finally just started dancing professionally again, which is so awesome, at Miami City Ballet. But then COVID happened. I've seen that it looks like she's in Utah at Ballet West with her boyfriend, and I don't know what that means for her professionally. I wish her all the best of luck, but I saw she did like an interview with her dad, and he wrote this, and then he's writing like an actual book, which I think will be interesting. It's really just like a bunch of quotes, and he told a story about how like he basically like did this to motivate her. And I'm not sure if that was when she had just, when she was very young, like younger, or if this was after her leaving NYCB, because that was like a really rough time. I can't remember. But so I bought it kind of like, and you can buy it digitally, but I bought it to like be supportive, you know, because her dad seems like a cool guy, and I really admire Catherine. And then I got Save the Cat Writes a Novel by Jessica Brody, because one, I would like to write at some point, but also honestly I think just as a reader this was really interesting to read. Like, I feel like I'm almost reading my books differently now. Not necessarily more critically, like I wouldn't say that that's the right terminology, but it is really interesting to kind of see, even just from a reader perspective, how books are constructed and how they make you feel the way you feel. And it's so crazy that you can just like put a lot of things down to a formula, but I've never had a problem with formulas. It's fine, but I actually ended up really enjoying this. And even if I never write, I think I got a lot out of it. And then I finally got Half-Blood in this edition by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is the first book in the Covenants series. I bought all of the other books earlier this year. It's signed off of her website. And, oh, it has the Damon novella in here. Oh, cool. I mean, I own it. I already own this whole series in a different edition, but I really like these, and they're signed. And so she announced a restock on her website, so I immediately had to purchase it so my collection could be complete a second time. Don't judge me. And then I can't believe I bought this in this quarter. I feel like I bought this forever ago, but whatever. I bought Desperate Measures by Katie Robert. And this is the first book in her Wicked Villains series. This is like dark romance erotica. This is a Jafar and Jasmine romance. I had thoughts on this. I was not a huge fan. Should I continue the series? I don't know. Let me know. I did pick up 2 signed Serena Bowen books. So one was A Top Secret by Serena Bowen and Al Kennedy. This one is signed, but only by Serena Bowen. Maybe someday I'll meet Al Kennedy and she can sign it. I already owned this as an ebook and an audiobook, so naturally I had to buy it in physical copy. This is a super fun, cute male-male romance set in college. It's kind of like enemies to lovers. Tons of textual communication. Tons of weird animal conversations. It's tons of fun. And then I bought Epic. I had this as an ebook, but I bought the physical edition again, signed by Serena Bowen. And this just goes with Him and Us. It's kind of like a cute little follow-up novella so you can spend some more time with Westmead. And finally, I discovered Jenna Morassi this year on YouTube. So I decided to buy her book, The Savior's Champion. The second book is coming out this year. I don't think it's already out. I don't know. And this is fantasy. I think it's adult fantasy, but it sounded interesting and I thought it would be nice to support a YouTuber. Yeah, we'll see. And I feel like this is the kind of book that may not be up my alley, but I should push myself a little bit in what I read, so why not? So those are all of the books I bought this quarter, and I will be back probably not until January with my Q4 wrap up, just be or book haul, and I'm hoping to have bought even less books by then, just because I'd really like my owned TBR shelf to get a lot smaller. If I do, it's fine, it's not the end of the world, I can afford the books. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. Whoops. Good thing there wasn't a cat sitting there.